Yes everyone, how are we doing, and welcome to a new video on the Biased Man City Fan YouTube channel. In today's one, as you'll have seen from the YouTube thumbnail and the title, it isn't going to be a positive one. There's a lot to be discussed, the main topic being City's new partnership deal with Viagogo. And look, there's a list of things I'm going to be getting into in this video. Obviously a lot of it will be the Viagogo, but there's stuff that I want to talk about, concerns that all City fans have had, all match-going fans have had, from long before City announced this deal. But I think this just was, for a lot of people, me included, just the final straw, the final kick in the teeth that we can handle. And things need to change. You know, I want to see people acting it. This isn't good enough. But we will start off talking about Viagogo. Now look, if you don't know who they are the world's leading ticket marketplace. In other words, the world's biggest legalised ticket touts. And Manchester City Football Club, after all the concerns that Man City fans have raised to them about all the problems we have had with tickets this season, and this season it has been worse than any season ever before. This season of all, they've decided to do a multi-million partnership deal with these ticket touts Viagogo. Now look, this deal is for across both the men's side and the women's side, just the entirety of Manchester City Football Club. Tickets will go on sale on Viagogo for what? 3, 4, maybe even 5 times the price at face value what it should be. As if ticket prices weren't bad enough already at the Etihad Stadium this season, it is unbelievable some of the prices we have got this season, even for the remaining games. If they weren't bad enough, they're now going to be increased, tripled, quadrupled, quintupled on Viagogo. It is absolutely ridiculous. It is outrageous. Now, basically, in a nutshell, what they do, Viagogo, they resell tickets. They resell tickets on their own website. Now, if Manchester City fans were to resell tickets to their mates, to their family, and didn't do it through the club, you know, they sold it to friends at face value, sold it on Facebook groups, on Twitter and Instagram, to family members, didn't go through the club, they could be banned. And I'm not joking when I say that. I'm not, being over the top when I say that. There's been Manchester City fans this season that have been banned from the Etihad Stadium, have to go to court because they've resold a ticket at face value because they didn't want to rip people off. And the thing is, I could understand it, with the club, obviously they'll want everything to be ran through them. They've got their own scheme at the minute where I'm not sure if it's 7 days or 10 days before, whatever, but if there's a home game that a season ticket holder can't go to, if you inform the club, they'll resell it and you will get money for that ticket. But how can we trust the club to distribute the tickets properly to another fan, to not overcharge people? How can we trust the club to do that? You can't. You can't. Look at all the problems that have been happening at the Etihad Stadium this season. You think the Liverpool game's been the most recent one, where there was a Liverpool fan battered in the South Stand. It's happened on Derby Day. Plymouth fans, look, they took over about 8,000 to the stadium, but City had to send back hundreds of tickets to new accounts that lived in Plymouth when it was obvious that Plymouth fans were trying to get in. Now, they shouldn't even be able to get tickets. They should be onto that straight away. Real Madrid's happened too many times. I know Champions League game is always going to attract more tourists. I get that. It's the biggest competition in club football. But I don't enjoy watching City play against Real Madrid. I honestly don't. Not because, this isn't... I understand it's the 2 best teams in the world going at it, and these games always mean a lot. I just mean from a fan experience going to the game. Even in South Stand, there's tourists everywhere. There's fans there that do not care, do not give a shit about the result of the game. And for a lot of us diehard ones, our hardcore fans that are there, this is the be-all and end-all. The games against Real Madrid in the Champions League, you're either through and have a good chance of winning it, or you're out. And tensions are high in them games. And in my experience of being at them types of games, I have seen, because I like to stay behind and clap all the players off at the end of the game, I've seen people stood there, tourists at the end of the game, taking pictures with a half and half scarves in the air after we've lost, after we've been beaten. I'm sick as a chip, and they're happy that they've got to experience it as if we're some sort of like Disneyland attraction, as some sort of fair that's going on. It's painful to see at times. And look, if we use this season's game against Real Madrid as the example of all the Real Madrid games that we're going on about, we come out of that game with a 3-2 loss. We threw it away last minute of the game, and it was hard to take. It was upsetting. 96th minute or whatever it was. And I've come home a bit down about the game, thinking, look, we've got a challenge now, Bernabeu next week. And I go on Instagram and I'm seeing in the family stand, the North stand, these fellas getting haircuts before the game at half time. How has that been let in? How on earth are we letting fans in with hair clippers? Why are we seeing Real Madrid fans, in his stand third tier, Colin Bell stand third tier, with just coats up at the end of the game? I'm seeing videos of them pulling it down into Real Madrid top. How are Stewie's letting this happen? Do you think with the situation that we've had at this club, the concerns we've raised, I think people should be made to unbutton the coat and that, show that they've not got Real Madrid top on, show that they've not got the opposition top on. And how ridiculous is that to say? How ridiculous is it that I'm saying we should be doing that? And the only reason that is because of the way these tickets have been handled, this situation, the ticketing issue that have been raised concerns about time and time again, season after season. We're in this problem now where I'm saying, should be checking people's shirts. What world are we living in? To get back onto the topic I was on about, if City fans did this, we'd be banned. We'd be banned. And they want us to go back to the club, give our tickets back if we can't make a game. But like I said, how am I supposed to trust that they're going to give it to an actual fan? A fan who's going to stay there and get behind the team. You wonder why I'd rather give it to a mate from the pub or someone that's going to get behind the team, create an atmosphere, back the boys when they're there, not take hair clippers into a stadium. It's obscene. While we're on the topic of tickets, let's talk about this. The fact there's no more season tickets at the Etihad Stadium going forward. What on earth is that about? What on earth is that about? The club are extending the stadium. There's going to be about 7,000 more seats in the ground. And not a single one of them is going to season ticket holders. Fans, whether it's because of age, because of financial situation, anything, will be given back their season ticket this season. Whether it's because of situations like this where they don't feel a connect with the club anymore, whether the fact they feel like they're being pushed out, fans will be pushed out. Season ticket holders will be given the tickets back this season. Now, guess what? They won't be given to other season ticket fans, or fans after season tickets. It won't be that. They'll be used as just a general sale match day ticket so the club can get more money. There's fans that are dying for season tickets, absolutely desperate for season tickets, and the club have been sort of half-arsing it. They've been sort of making out like they're wanting to give it you, doing a flexi gold ticket. Or my first season ticket was a silver season ticket. I'll explain what that is. 14 out of the 19 games in the Premier League season you pay for in a season ticket. Now, the other 5 are the big 5. United, Liverpool, Tottenham, Chelsea and Arsenal. They're the big 5 that we play. You don't get them season tickets. You have to buy them separate. Why? Because them tickets are ridiculously expensive. You're looking at short of £100 for an adult ticket. That's why. Because the club can make more money. It is absolutely infuriating, what they're doing to local fans. Local and global. Local and global was the phrase that was shown at us constantly 10 years ago, 15 years ago. We understand success brings more money. Success brings more eyes, more fans. I completely get that. You want to be a global product. You want to be an institution. Do you know what I mean? A product, a brand, Manchester City Football Club. I get that. That's what success brings. It's inevitable. But don't push out the local fans. The fans who built the team up, got behind the team when they were shit. If things fell apart, if these 115 charges come and hit us badly and we get relegated, do you think these fans from Tokyo and New York and everywhere, do you think all of them that are coming down for Champions League football, do you think they're going to go Reading away? Do you think they're going to go and watch Oxford? No, they're not. I was going to swear again, but no, they're not. The local fans, the fans that you're pushing out of the stadium, of course they will. Of course they will. They love the club. They die for the club. That's the routine, week in, week out. Live and breathe City. But they're being pushed out for fans who will come on a one-off occasion. And the thing is with the season ticket talk or lack of season tickets, and how the fact that the club will make more money if fans bought tickets individually for each game, paid £50 a game, whatever it is, £60 a game, across the season they'll make more money doing that, the club will, than if they gave the fan a season ticket and they paid the direct debit. It's not just the fact that they'll make more money like that. It's the fact that fans, that come on these one-off occasions, come 2 or 3 times, have to fly to the ground to come and watch them. I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with you getting behind the team if that's what you're going to do. But the club prefer them. They prefer you doing that to me, going week in, week out. Maybe buying a pint, maybe buying a pie if I'm hungry. That's all I'll buy. Do you know what I mean? I might buy one shirt a season. They prefer the fans that come off on one-off occasions, pay the extra for the ticket. Go to the club shop before the game, spend 300, 400 quid buying the kids' shirts, buying themselves shirts, buying 5 programmes to take home, buying loads and loads of food in there. And the fact that they're building a hotel as well, they'll make even more money. There'll be even more of them. They make more money off these one-off occasion fans come for a show, come for the attraction of the Etihad Stadium and City Football Club, and they'll go and they'll have the selfie stick, they'll have the cameras out, they'll film the entire match and just sit there in silence and watch it. They want to be part of an atmosphere. They don't want to create the atmosphere. And you might look at me speaking on here with what I do and make content and film stuff at the game or chants, or certain times I might get a clip of the goal and you might think I'm on about people filming the games. I don't film the games. I don't stand there with my camera filming the entire match ready to snippet little clips of a goal out. I don't do that. If I'm noticing a tune be going about or the fans are proper getting behind the team or we just scored something, I might get my phone out and I might film a celebration. I might film the fans singing a song. I might even film a De Bruyne free kick or a corner or something. But I tell you what, I'm stood there while holding it, screaming, "Oh, Kevin De Bruyne," or singing songs or whatever song I'm filming is chanting. I'm taking part in it. I'm getting behind it. I'm singing my heart out as I am from minute 1 to minute 90. The fans in Colin Bell's stand and North stand, and the fans that will be in this blue wall that they want to create in North stand, they won't be doing that. They won't be doing that. The fans that want to sing, it's clear they want to be in South stand, and I get that. But if you want to be part of an atmosphere, like I said, create the atmosphere as well. Add to the atmosphere. Don't just come because, I've heard this is where it's all nice and noisy. Get behind the team there as well. Sing your heart out. Scream. It's infuriating. The last game I went to was Brighton, wasn't it? Brighton at home, I think. If that was before or after Forest, I don't know. But Brighton, the atmosphere was terrible. I'm sat in 114, right? And Brighton away fans, they were all right. They weren't nothing special. We've had a lot better at the Etihad this season. But there was just nothing. The fans, the City fans there, there was about 15 of us singing, 20 of us singing. And even if I'm one of them 20 at the time, it makes me look stupid. It makes me feel stupid when there's hardly any sound. There's a few thousand stood around you. And when there's only like a bag or a hatful of you singing, it makes you look stupid. And it's because fans want to sit there, stand there, don't want to add to the atmosphere because they're there to be part of the circus, to be there to be part of the attraction, I don't even want to know, a fairground. So that right there is a major issue. The fact that they're not adding any more season tickets, they're extending the stadium. There's been no new season tickets since before COVID. The past few seasons, no new season tickets. You're being told they'll be adding more. They should be adding more when they extend. They've extended. And what do you hear months before the extension's finished or supposed to be finished? No more new season tickets. Terrible. Absolutely terrible from the club, that. And even if I was to let go of my, obviously I'm not going to, but if I was to let go of my season ticket now, like I said, that wouldn't be given to another fan desperate for a season ticket. It'd be used as a general sale. So if anyone is feeling like they're being pushed out of the club, they don't feel the same attachment, don't feel the same love from the club towards them, vice versa, I won't give you a season ticket up. It's just going to be used. You can't trust this club at the moment. You can't trust the people at the club to distribute it to a proper fan who's desperate for a ticket. So I'd urge you not to do it. And look, the fact I'm even saying this is sickening, it's saddening, it's disheartening. Fans like me and you live and breathe this club, feeling like giving the season tickets up. The season tickets, that's the routine. That's what they do week in, week out. Live and breathe the club, follow them home and away. And they feel like giving up on it because they don't feel love from the club. They don't feel like the club even appreciates them. It's wrong. It's sad and it's wrong. Everything that City laughed at United for being as an institution, just as a brand more than a football club, they're becoming. The club are forgetting about the local people. They're too busy focused on, taking the Premier League titles on tour in USA and Mexico and Indonesia and Abu Dhabi and everywhere. I get and I love it, and it's brilliant for fans over there, City fans over there, to see it. It's brilliant. We're privileged as local fans to have seen this stuff. But don't forget about the local fans that are there still supporting week in, week out. I understand that fans in Indonesia can't fly for every game. I get that 110%. I understand it. And that's not me saying you shouldn't take the trophies over there, or you shouldn't try and create, with success. Like I said, we're going to grow globally. Doesn't mean you shouldn't try and build it up more. But don't forget about us, the fans that will have you back no matter the situation you're in. The fans from round the corner, 15, 20-minute walk from the Etihad Stadium. Don't forget about me. What are you doing? So anyway, look, moving on. Off the back of City doing that deal with Viagogo, the fans outraged like me and you. The We Are 1894 group have released a statement basically announcing somewhat of a protest for City fans. Obviously, you don't have to take part if you don't want to. I definitely will be. They're asking fans not to go down to your seats until 9 minutes in. Stay in the concourse. Don't get to the ground late or anything like that, but be ready for 9 minutes, then walk down to your seats. As a stand to show the club that we're not happy. The local fans aren't happy. The match-going fans aren't happy with what they're doing, their behaviour. It's unacceptable the way they're treating a lot of the fans. 9 minutes, you might ask why. This is the 9th time that City have partnered up with a ticket reseller. And it's the state of football. I understand that's what football has become. I can get that, but this season, the timing of it has never been worse. It's a massive kick in the teeth for City fans. Like I said, the problems we've had at the Etihad Stadium this season, away fans and home ends, the prices, the fact you're charging £70 for a ticket for Bournemouth, £60 for Crystal Palace. £70, if that was a Derby Day ticket, I'd still be coming in here saying that's ridiculous. The average working class man who's trying to feed his family, £70. They're out of touch, but £60 for Crystal Palace. Wow, like I said, out of touch. They don't understand. So we've got to show them some way or another. You still got to get there and back the boys and get behind the team. The players will understand. The manager's got to understand. I understand that they're also realistically going to be out of touch. The wages that they're on, there'll be no man in that stadium that will earn as much as them. But they'll understand if we're getting down after 9 minutes, you're still backing the boys after that. They'll hear you. We've got to make a stand of somewhat. Fans staying in the concourse, like I said, till 9 minutes in. I'll be taking part. There's other things you can do, obviously, as well. Not be buying the pints there. Not be buying your pies there. If you want to eat on the way. There's a main road chipper. Mary D's for the pub if you fancy a pint. Go before. Don't buy the extra pint. You're putting more money in the pockets. You need to make a stand. If you're unhappy about this, make a stand. Make a stand. Show them you're unhappy. Because it can't continue. They've done it the worst timing ever. The problems we've had, the fan groups, City Matters, We Are 1894, they've raised concerns, and City, they've half-arsed it in responses. They've said it will get to meetings, blah, 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 but nothing really and truly has been done. And City fans are sick of it. And so, like I said, time to protest, time to make a stand. Leicester at home. Don't go in your colours. Don't fill the pockets. Stay in the concourse till 9 minutes. Let's make a stand for what you believe in. And look, the thing is, obviously, this is quite a small YouTube channel. I understand that there's not going to be a lot of people, if any, watching this late into the video. And if there are people watching it, I understand that. I mean, the name speaks for itself. I'm a City fan. I don't know how many rival fans would be watching this, or fans who don't support City be watching this. But if you are and you're thinking that I come across as a spoilt City fan, a brat, whatever, you've got to understand that I am forever grateful for what I have seen at City, at this club, the stuff we've achieved, the experiences I've experienced, going to Wembley season after season after season, watching us beat United at Wembley, watching us lift that Champions League with me mates in Manchester. It was beautiful. That Real Madrid 4-0 at home. I mean, these games like this, I sit and I reminisce on a weekly basis about stuff I've achieved, players I've seen that we fell in love with, company, David Silva, Phil Foden, Aguero. There's people that we love and adore, and experiences that without these owners who have built the club, funded the club, and put us in a position and set us up in a position where we've been able to achieve these things and see these things and see these players in a City shirt, wouldn't be possible. I completely understand that, and I'm forever grateful about the success. Forever grateful about what they've done for Manchester. The people nearby. They've done a lot of good, an awful lot of good. More good than bad. But the past year or two, year or three, whatever, we're seeing a decline. You're feeling a disconnect. You're feeling it. You're really feeling it. Local fans just, we feel like we're not being prioritised. Whether it's hosting events elsewhere, you see they're hosting a lot more events in other countries, America, Abu Dhabi, wherever. You see a lot more prioritised for the global fans as far as experiences with the players that aren't matches. Fans globally are prioritised over local fans. The kids here, it's sad. It upsets me. You know, I'm speaking in here. I came on here obviously angry at first, and now it's just sort of put me in a bad mood thinking about all this. Like, it's not fair. It really isn't fair. For me, I could come in here and stay or just not come in here and say anything. I could stay quiet as if it doesn't affect me because I've got my season ticket. Yeah, they're increasing season ticket prices. But other than that, I could say it doesn't affect me because I'm only buying for myself. I don't have kids yet to buy for. I don't often buy food or drinks in the ground anyway. There's a lot of things that I'm raising points here that it doesn't affect me. But we're all a family at City, and what affects the person sat next to me, it affects me. You know, we are the club of the people at the core, and I don't like what's happening at the minute. I don't like the fact that we're being pushed out. You're feeling a disconnect, and it's going to get to a stage where with what they're doing now, you're not going to start to know the people next to you. You build relationship with people that you've never seen before in your life, and now you stand with them at half time having a chat, asking how the family is, and that's what football brings. It brings relationships with you make friends at the football that you see more than your actual friends, because you're a big family. You're all there for the same thing. Get behind your team and the way you love your team, and that isn't going to be a thing anymore. The way things are going, kids aren't going to be able to get to watch them growing up anymore. A quick change of scenery, sorry, my passionate rant got interrupted. But what I was trying to say on there, right, was if it doesn't affect you now, it will in the future. You know, at Manchester City, in Manchester in general, you know, we look out for one another. What affects the next man affects you. And you've got to back each other and get behind each other and support each other. And what's going on now, it can't carry on at City with fans feeling this level of just carelessness from the club towards them. The disconnect that I keep going on about, the prices. If I look at me when I was a kid, right, I wouldn't be who I am without my granddad as a person, but also as a football fan. You know, my granddad, when I was younger, he was the one who took me to a lot of games. I'm talking 7 or 8, 9 years old. And I could only go to the odd game. We could only afford to go to the odd game. God forbid. I mean, it wouldn't have happened now. If that was me now, he wants to take me to Bournemouth on a Saturday or whatever. For me and him, you're looking at over £100. It isn't affordable. And that's just a dad and son, a granddad and son, do you know what I mean? What about the other kids? What about a full family? You're looking at £200, £300 for a day at the football, and it's not feasible. It's not fair on the average people. We're not this rich place. Manchester's, it's a working class economy. We're not rich people. You can't charge this level of stuff for these fans. It isn't fair. I might not be here right now talking to you about this without Grandad taking me to the matches and me thinking I'd love to go. I can't wait to go to the next match, whether it's Stoke in an FA Cup. God, it was everything. Going to City was everything to me. It always has been and it always will be. I love this club to pieces. You know, I live and breathe it, but it wouldn't have been possible if that was now. I couldn't afford a season ticket back then. I couldn't. Well, obviously I couldn't. I was a kid, but my grandma and granddad couldn't afford for me to have a season ticket. My mum and dad couldn't afford for me to have a season ticket. I get that. It was expensive. Never mind now. Imagine it now. My granddad might not be able to afford to go. Honestly, it's sad. It hurts. If it doesn't affect you now, it will at some point. When you want kids, when you want to take friends, family, whatever, it will affect you then. Bring back season tickets. If you had to listen to anything I'm saying here, right, I'll summarise it here, my point I'm trying to get across briefly. First things first, more season tickets. We need more season tickets in the ground. That extension they're doing, 7,000 more seats I think it is, that they're building. Some of them need to be season tickets, and even different areas, we need to add more season tickets. Pep goes on every few months about creating an atmosphere, and I get behind him, I understand it. You know, he only wants what's best for the club, I get that. And Pep, I would love that as well. There's nothing I would love more than for every man and woman in that stadium to be screaming and shouting and singing their hearts out and getting behind the boys every game. Brighton, Fulham, Wolves, don't care. Get behind them every time. I would love it as well. But it isn't possible with the way that the club are handling things, the way that the clubs are distributing these tickets. It is not possible. More season tickets will create a better atmosphere. Second of all, whether that's for season tickets and the ticket prices, they both, not just at City, just in Premier League in general, these tickets, they need to be sorted out. The Football Association, everyone to do, Richard Masters, whoever, everyone around this Premier League needs to look at things again for the 600th time and get their head around things that this football is a working man's sport. It's a working man's sport. Prioritise it to the working man. Allow the working man to be able to afford to go to games and support his team. Ticket prices are worse than ever. They're ridiculous. It's embarrassing. It's absolutely infuriating. Fans not being able to go and support the team. It's sickening. So ticket prices need to be increased. And just listen, a bit of communication from the club. City's always been brilliant at it. Communicating with the fans, I feel like, anyway. As far as I can remember, every season, we're seeing an interview with Khaldoon talking. A podcast with Khaldoon where it goes out to all the City fans and they can listen for free on the YouTube channel. I don't know if we'll see one this season. I hope we will. And if he does, I want to hear not just about City struggling this season, but we'll be back or we're looking to buy players. I don't, often on the field stuff, for the first time in a long while, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it right now. I want fans to be addressed. I want them to stop pushing fans away. Address them. Address the prices. Address the situation. Speak about it yourself. Have some communication. Let us know that we're being heard, we're being listened to. Because it doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like it one bit in a minute. Fans are being pushed out. The local fan, the average working man, can't afford to go and support his team. And that is absolutely everything that is wrong with not just City, football in general at the moment. It needs addressing. It all needs sorting. Anyway, look, I think I'm going to end it here because I've used up far more than enough of your time. I'm sorry. I just feel passionate about this kind of thing. I feel strongly about it. It isn't fair. It isn't fair that fans are being priced out. They're being pushed out of watching the team they love and support. I keep bringing it back to myself, of me when I was younger. And I don't know if it's just because, stuff going on with granddad and stuff like that. But I keep thinking about him and about me and him when we was younger. And that would never have been a possibility, ever. If the situation was as it was now, back then, it wouldn't have been possible. I might have been watching cricket, tennis or something, do you know what I mean? There's a chance I wouldn't be on here talking or be at the matches because it just wouldn't have been possible for that to be brought on me as a kid. It's hard, it's tough. To take, and obviously this is like a younger man's point of view, isn't it? I'm 20 years old. I wasn't following the team at Main Road. I wasn't born. My granddad and my dad, I hear stories and I speak to them often about it, but this is just my perspective from a younger fan. I've not watched Big Steve's video yet, but I've seen on his story, and I'm going to watch it soon. Once I finish editing this and publish this and everything like that, when I get time, in between the FA Cup games today, I'm going to watch it. And I like Big Steve, and I've got a lot of appreciation for what I feel like he's doing as well. He's got a much bigger platform, and he's voicing everything, all our concerns. And I'd imagine there'll be stuff there that he speaks about that I spoke about. Because obviously there's only so many things you can speak about on this, but they all are massive. All the points are massive. And they all need addressing. So, look, I'm sorry that I've took so much of your time. Let me know your thoughts. If I've missed any points, I probably have done. There's that much wrong at the minute. If there's anything I missed, let me know in the comments. I'm going to be banging this video out a lot lately. Or it's up to come anyway, sorry. I'm not even making sense now. I spoke too much. But I'll be like... what's the word? I'll be sticking it on my story pretty much every day. You'll be seeing a lot of this thumbnail. But I want as many people... I don't, like... What the word I'm trying to think of? Wow. Promote was the word I was trying to think of. Wow. I don't promote a lot of my stuff that often. I don't bang it out in my story every day and, tell you to subscribe every single day. Obviously, subscribe if you're not already. But, like, I don't do it every day or with all my videos. I'll probably stick it on right after the upload, and you won't see it again on my Instagram story. But for the next few days, up until Leicester anyway, I'm going to be on here a lot, or on socials a lot, and just keep banging a drum and saying, look, so, I mean, if you're watching this now, you'd have already watched it, but I'm saying, just for future's sake, you might get sick of seeing this thumbnail, apologise, but I just want as many people to see this and hear me. I want to be heard. If you don't buy the club, buy you lot. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just want to be heard, and, you know, fans you'll agree with a lot of things I'm saying. You know, not even just City fans, fans in general, about the state of football. There's a lot. So yeah, you're going to see a lot of me here. If you've not already, give it a thumbs up. Share it with your friends. Share it. Go here. Raul made a good few points in this one. Do you know what I mean? He's hit the nail on the head with this and this. Send it to your mates. Send it to your pals. Yeah, I'll leave it there. Subscribe if you're not already. And hopefully things are sorted. Things need addressing. So please, everyone at the club, just hear the fans out, for God's sake. Hear them out.